The Alleghany Journal is delighted to speak today with Clifton Forge Baptist Church pastor Manny Hernandez. And we have a number of questions we'd like to pose to the relatively new pastor. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And so you're relatively new, we mentioned. Where did Manny Hernandez come from?
Well, I grew up there in the Miami, Florida area. And just to make a long story short, I pastored and assisted in various other churches throughout Tennessee and Mississippi and Arkansas and Kansas and such, and found myself back in Florida. And then in December of 2020, during the COVID, we had started a home church there, and it was flourishing. It was in a 65 and over 55 and over community of over 25,000 people. And so we had a home church that was planted, and it began to grow exponentially. It began to grow. We ran out of room in the house. There's so many people you could put in your home. And so we were looking for another venue to go to. But then COVID came, the first wave of COVID, and you know how drastic that was for the elderly and everything. So we stopped our services and we stopped our meeting together and everything like that. And then as it began to resume a little bit, I started preaching at other churches in Florida, but nothing was a good fit right there. So we reached out, and I was called to Burningtown Baptist Church in Franklin, North Carolina. So in December 2020, my wife and I packed up everything. We left our 5 daughters, 5 son-in-laws, our 12 grandkids, 1 great-grandson, all in Florida. And we made our way there to Franklin, North Carolina. We loved it there. The church grew there. And then I took a sabbatical of a year. I resigned from that church, took a sabbatical of a year, and we started putting feelers to other churches. And I spoke with the Catalyst director there for the BGAV, which is the Baptist General Assembly of Virginia. And he said there was a church in Clifton Forge that was looking for a pastor. And so we did a Zoom meeting. Everything looked good. They invited me to come and preach for them. I preached for them there in Clifton Forge, whole new experience. And then afterwards, we had another Zoom, and then they called me to be their pastor. And in fact, we moved 3 days before Hurricane Helene came through Western North Carolina and devastated all that area. Not too much on our place in Franklin, in Macon County. However, the counties right above us, especially Asheville, suffered great loss through Hurricane Helene. And so we find ourselves here, and it's been close to 4 months, and we love it.
Welcome once again. And, since you've had pretty wide experience with a number of congregations, what would you consider would be the biggest challenge of pastoring a new church? I mean, with that kind of experience, you've seen several. So what is the biggest challenge?
Well, I believe God has called me to be a revitalization pastor. And that is to work with churches that are either plateaued, have declined in numbers, or are dying, and to take them from a striving church into a thriving church. And so all denominations are working on revitalization, taking churches that are having a difficult time, because 80% of our churches, whether they're Methodist, Presbyterian, Episcopalian, Baptist, 80% are either declined or have plateaued in numbers. So revitalization is the process of working with those churches, helping them to become healthy churches, and in order to love on the community with the love of Jesus more so than they have already. And so by implementing those things, and by the grace of God, then that church can turn around and become a healthy church and an impact like it was in the community. And so that's my calling. And so when Clifton Forge Baptist Church had a need for revitalization, I felt that was where God was calling me. We had also preached at a church in Big Stone Gap in Virginia, which we decided wasn't a good fit for us. But when we came to Clifton Forge, we just fell in love with it, fell in love with the people, a small congregation, but our eyes are focused on revitalization and change, because the definition of change is it's doing the same thing all over, of insanity, doing the same thing all over again and expecting different results. So, we're focused on that. What
are the biggest challenges with respect to attendance? Is it is it age related where you can revitalize the church, be somehow attracting young people, or is it content related? I mean, what would your assessment be as you begin the revitalization process?
Well, we believe that God can do anything, but nonetheless, the younger generation just aren't going to church like they used to. So you have to do things that will reach out to them. And so you're looking at being multicultural in your ministry, ministering both to the elderly and the older congregation who are there, and also to families with children, and providing things that families are looking for, a place where they can bring their kids, a place where it's family friendly, a place where the kids have something to do and enjoy being there, and a place where others who haven't never been to church want to find a church family, want to find somebody to wrap their arms around them and have them join the community of that church and have them have a purpose in life. And so it is a challenge. Clifton Forge is a challenge as well. We're a small congregation, but we're focused on doing the things that would be instrumental in reaching all ages throughout Clifton Forge.
You really have a beautiful venue there. I mean, it's not only a lovely church,
Yeah.
but you've also got, I think I recall, about $1 million organ. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is really a nice setting, and so at least the premises are are beautiful, and with your experience, I mean, I predict success, and it's very kind of you to take the time to speak with us today, about some of the challenges that you're looking forward to facing.
And that's true. I mean, the organ's beautiful. It's a Taylor Booty organ out of Staunton, Virginia, right down the road. And it is a beautiful organ. And not only that, but, we also have a piano, and you have to have sort of like a blended music, because, you don't only want the beautiful hymns and that were sung before. You want to blend those in with some soft contemporary music, like the goodness of God and so forth, that cause people to worship, and cause people to connect with God.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really enjoyed the Alleghany Journal, and I look at them in Facebook and everything, and they've been very inspiring and very instrumental in notifying the community what's going on.
Good day, sir.
Thank you.